development of rural people, more particularly rural poor. Number one. Number two, rural development is development of rural areas. Again, more particularly, some of the backward, like drought-prone, desert-prone districts, because out of 600 districts in this country, around 280 are either drought-prone or desert-prone, means underdeveloped districts. So, and again very recently the list is added with some more flood affected areas also underdeveloped. With that it is coming around 340 districts which are underdeveloped. So area development is also rural development, and development of rural people, again in the rural people, poor people means in one word assetless. Again, what is meant by asset? Assets are 5 types: physical assets, economic assets, human asset, including skilllessness, knowledgeless, and even attitude also to some extent. So, assetlessness in terms of human asset, physical asset, natural asset like land, then financial asset like jobs and savings. These are all assetless people. For them, they don't have even skill, they don't have capability, they don't have knowledge. Now the biggest challenge is 30% of this population, even 37, which is not even agreed. People say still it is higher side. While the debate is like that, keeping aside the debate, at least coming to some agreement of 35% of the people in this country are assetless, means which do not have means for a livelihood. Neither they are capable of making a livelihood, nor they do have any asset. Even little assets where they have, they are unable to maintain with the kind of technology we are envisaging. And in fact, when the word technology comes, in the rural development, our definition of technology is different. The technology which we look at in rural development sphere is that should be employment generating, energy saving, economically sound, means cost effectiveness, environmental safety, and mostly employment generating. But many of these technologies which now we are thinking so great are not employment generating. On the other hand, employment reducing. Now, fortunately, we are moving in right direction with government initiative also in a proactive manner with pro-poor policies, with 40% of the total budget now placed under rural development, and again in the rural development being done by other than rural development ministries also. So, with this kind of paradigm shift that has taken place, people-centered, decentralized governance mode, still our objective still remains that number one is poverty eradication, at least poverty reduction. Second is improvement in quality of life in rural areas. What are rural areas? How many villages? Around 6 lakh villages. Particularly the way the programs are being implemented, whose amounts, whose investments are required? Government alone cannot provide this. Realizing this, now talking of private and public partnership. Why private person should come unless the project is not economically viable, and what is the benefit he should get, and again government controlling on them. These are certain things which definitely deliberations are required. So our mission is inclusive growth of rural India through household centered. Household centered is very recently included based on NIRD recommendation, that is women headed households are increasing more number. So household centered multi-pronged strategy for eradication of poverty as well as improvement in quality of life. Quality of life is nothing simply mere providing drinking water, even education, access to school, access to health. Even these three also are not there, and that's in fact we are thinking of quality of life in rural standards, even providing access to these three items like health, education and drinking water. Even these three also not more than 40 or 45% in this country area wise is covered. Again, even after providing it, how much of the poor can access these services is again a question mark.